Hey guys, welcome back to another review. Today we have the awesome Gambit from Sideshow Collectibles or Sideshow Toys, whatever. I think you enjoyed this. This piece has been out for what, 6, 7, 8 years, but this is the first chance that I've gotten to actually put a video on it. Okay, so if you're not familiar with it, this is an awesome piece. If you are, and you know it's already awesome. So stay tuned. I'm really excited to put the video for this one on. I've had it for a while, put it away, and now I'm taking it back out to do a review. Okay, so hang on, and before we proceed, let's go back to the beginning for a semi unboxing or re-unboxing. So alright, so hang on. Okay, so I've popped off the top portion of the box, and then on the top portion, that's where your base is going to be. And then that's Gambit, and of course you got the heads, the two arms, and the staff. Okay, so let's have a look at the color box. So the box is pretty small, which, you know, compared to XM, it's much appreciated. So that will give you some history of the character. Let's see. That's with the modern head. And of course, you got the black and white picture of the classic head. And of course, this being the exclusive, you get Sideshow exclusive. Okay, so let's put Gambit together, and we'll have a look at this piece. Okay, so we have a very simple X base for the Xmen. This thing, I guess it's like 12 or 14 inches. As you can see, it fits onto my carousel perfectly. Okay, so nothing to write home about. It's a one pegger. So let's get the figure up. Okay, so the figure's on. Like I said, it's a one pegger. And this is, you're going to attach one of the two heads here. It's magnet. And then this is an actual trench coat. This, I guess, belt on the trench coat is posable. And the trench coat on the bottom, it's got some form of wires running through, so that's posable too. Okay, so as you can see, it's fully sculpted with the exception of the trench coat. So in this case, the mixed media is done very well. Okay, so that's what we've got, and then of course you're going to attach the arms and you can actually remove the trench coat if you want, but I don't recommend it. That's just an outfit that goes with Gambit. Okay. Alright, let's get the heads and the arms on. Alright, so we've got two heads. One, like I said, it's the long or unkept hair version. That's the modern look. Okay. And then this one's got the Jim Lee inspired head with, of course, the cigarette, which I'm a bit surprised myself that Marvel would let Sideshow do this. And then you get the regular hand. This is what you would get if you get the regular Gambit. Okay, of course it's the ace. And then this is the exclusive hand with the energy charge card. Okay. Alright, let's put these on, and oh, and of course you get the staff. Okay, so I have to put the camera down in order to use two hands to attach the left arm. Okay, it's magnet right there, and then of course the sorry about that, guys, the AC just kicked in again. So anyway, I've installed the staff, the left hand or arm, whatever, and then we're going to do the modern head first, and then all you have to do is fit it in there like that, and then bam, that's it. And as you can see, it's a pretty awesome piece. Okay, and then I'll give you a close-up of Gambit's head, face. I don't know if you can see it, but they actually did the eyes. It's just that it looks like it's all red, but you actually see eyeballs. Okay, so that's a nice touch. And then the other thing I like is this. I don't know if you can see it right there. You can actually see his ears underneath that. Okay, so they didn't just cop out and put the hair over that. Okay, so moving around, as you can see, with a quarter scale statue, it's nice because you have more details. Like it's supposed to be a telescoping staff, so that's what you have right there, ridges and stuff, and then you're going up. Okay, and then you can actually take the jacket off or the trench coat off, and then you can display him without the trench coat. But who would do that? It's Gambit. So he's synonymous with the trench coat, okay? So I'll give you a quick 360 and then I'll zoom out and give you a 360 on that. So this statue has a lot of attitude, like, you know, when you're looking at it, it's actually Gambit. Okay, so it's nicely detailed. Although, you know, with the trench coat it does hide a lot, but you can pose this. Like you can make it in like this or something. Okay, to see his purple and black spandex. It's nicely sculpted. Okay, so we're gonna switch out. Wait, let me give you a 360 of this, and then we'll switch out the head and then the exclusive hand, and then we'll do a 360 of that. Okay, so it's pretty good so far. Okay guys, it's 360 time. This is with the modern head and regular hand. Okay, so we'll go this way. As you can see, the statue is looking pretty good. I think this is one of the best ones that Sideshow has ever done. It just captures the essence of Gambit pretty well. And we'll go back the other way. Okay, so let me put on the exclusive hand and the modern head, which is the preferred head, and then we'll do a 360 of that. Okay, so we have the exclusive hand, energy charge hand, and of course the Jim Lee inspired head with the cigarette. You can't beat that. Okay, so we're doing a 360. This is what I think most people would display Gambit. This kind of accessories, okay? So the modern head will probably never be seen. Although you can switch it out once in a while, and that's cool. But the energy charge hand is a must, and then you have that. Okay, so that's the angle you would want. Okay, so let's have a closer look, and then we'll go to the final scorecard. Okay, we're gonna go closer, and this is the angle. This is the money shot right here of Gambit. It's just so badass. Okay, so that's what the energy hand, charge card looks like. It's actually, you can see the ace, and then in the back of it, it's you know, the Xmen logo. So he's getting ready to, well, he's charging, and then he's assuming he's gonna be throwing, as you can see. Okay, other than that, it will be the same as this. Okay, but it adds so much more to the display. And give you a closer look at the face. And again, like the other ones, you do have the eyeballs. I don't know if you can see it. It's not just red painted on, but you got the eyeballs painted on. As you can see, it's got that scruffy looking. And then the cigarette. Okay. The teeth could have been done better, but you know, you cannot ask too much of this. And then of course the other change is this: you get the pattern on the upper chest. Instead, the other one, you don't have any. Okay, so it's slightly different. Okay, and then the hand, let's get that. So it's just, it looks like it just came right out of the comic book. Okay, and then nothing to see back here except the trench coat. And then of course get the knee pad. As you can see, it's really nicely done. It's got a nice six pack. and of course that side spandex. Okay, and then I don't know if you can see the pattern in here. It's not just painted on, but it looks like it's some form of pattern. Okay, so, and of course underneath that it's patterned. So like I said, you can take it off, but you will be somewhat disappointed because in order, I think, to get the jacket in, this part right here coming down, it's like a flat wedge. You know how the human arm is got muscle? This one is actually flat back here. So for all intent purposes of displaying it, when you have the trench coat on, it's not a big deal. And of course you can have it up, give them a little bit more attitude, something like that. Okay, or you can have it down, and like I said, this is all posable, and then you can, you know, maybe have it like, oh look, he's got some nice slats. Okay, so you can do this. So it's really nice the way it's done. This is mixed media done properly. Not like, you know, Superman where they just put on the cloth over that. This one actually has good functionality, and I don't even think a sculpted cape, oh not cape, sorry, trench coat would look as good as this. Okay, and then that's closer, and the hands, and of course when I took the jacket out, it's actually it's pretty hard for me to put it back, so I'm not going to do that here. Oops, got poked in the eye. Okay, so this is where it's at right here. You can actually make a poster of this. Okay, so let's get to the final scorecard, and then we'll, you know, zoom in and zoom out and stuff like that. Okay, so this is the top down. Okay, let's go with our first category, sculpting. As you can see, this piece is awesome. It's nicely done, and I think the sculptor is Tony Cipriano. If I'm wrong, please let me know. I want to give the credit to the right person. So this thing is, when you look at it, it's, you know, just flawless. You know, I like it. The only two things that I would have a problem with this is, as I mentioned before, this, if you take off the jacket in here, he's got like a straight wedge. But like I said before, I understand why, because it's very difficult to put the jacket on if he's got like muscular arms. And then the only other thing is this. It's a little nitpick, but as you can see right there, right there, that's supposed to be his knee pads, right? But it looks like they, instead of sculpting it in somehow, they just attached these two round knee pads. Okay, so that's something that nobody will ever notice. But as you can see when you look down there, it is there. Okay, so other than that, the head sculpts are fantastic. The body's nice. You can't go wrong with any of these, the two heads. As you can see, I just prefer that one, and I think most people will display it with that one. So for the score, I would give this a solid 9.5 out of 10 if I hadn't opened up undo the jacket. Okay, and then my only gripes is the knee pads. So if had they integrated into it better, this would be a 10 out of 10. So 9.5, I'll pretend I didn't open up the jacket and see that wedge for his arm. Okay, so our next category we have is fit and finish. This means that the paint apps, and in this case we have mixed media. The trench coat is done really nice, and you can actually pose and everything. So you can even take it off, but like I said before, with that wedge, it's, yeah, it doesn't look very good. And you can, it's very detailed. As you can see, you can slip this in those, and then it's nicely done. I didn't find any flaws on mine. Now I'm sure there's got to be something if you look hard enough, but for a regular production piece, it's pretty good. And then No damage or anything to the jacket or any loose threads that I can see. So other than that, I would say the paint app on this, or sorry, the fit and finish, I would have to give this a. Uh, it isn't perfect, but I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10 at least with mine. But you know, I can see some like there's some smudge maybe right there. So I'm a little bit too picky, I think. And then you know, size I guess could be done a little bit better, but that's okay. And the secret, this part could be a little bit brighter. So you know, small things like that. But other than that, I don't have an issue with it. So 9.5 out of 10 for fit and finish. Okay, so our next category. Before I go on, let's put back the modern head, and then I'll switch back to the Jim Lee head. Okay. Okay, now we have the modern head. So our next category is art direction. The overall piece, yeah, it looks like Gambit's just standing there, and he's gonna unleash his charge cards. So this way, I like this art direction. It tells you very much that you know, he's about to unleash the cards. So I like this art direction, although I generally prefer a more action-oriented pose. This is a semi-action museum pose, but it works. So in that sense, I don't really have a problem with this art direction-wise, and you know, with this you can display them because there isn't a lot of space except for maybe the staff. So as you can see, it's not too bad space-wise. For art direction, I would give this a 9 out of 10. I like the way that Sideshow's done this. It's simple, but yet it's got like subtle movement, if you will. So this is good. Okay, and then our fourth category we have is source material. This is how close the statue comes to, I guess, duplicating the source, in this case the comic book. And if you look at Gambit, this is actually just near perfect. When you look at it, you know it's Gambit. Now it helps with the trench coat and everything, the staff. So there's no disputing, it's actually Gambit, as you can see. And it looks pretty badass. So I don't think anybody would mistake this for any other character. And when you add in the Jim Lee head, there's no mistaking about that. Okay, and I'm still surprised that they're able to get away with the secret for that, and it's just perfect. I wish my Xmen Wolverine would have had a cigar. That would make it perfect. So so source material wise, when you look at it, you know it's Gambit. There's no disputing it. So 10 out of 10. It's just awesome. Okay, and then our last category we have is accessories. This is a mixed one for me. You do get two heads. The modern looking head. Okay, and then you do have two switch outs. You get this, and then I'm not even displaying the business card hand, because it looks like he's handing out his business card. I like this. It tells, you know, the little story about, you know, his power. And of course you get this two heads. Okay, so in that sense, it's pretty good. The only thing is this, the base. This is like a generic X base. Now I understand Sideshow wanting to go this way because I think the Rogue also has the X. But then they switched it up with Cyclops and Wolverine and Storm, and I think Psylocke also had the X base, so they're not very consistent. So this the score will reflect that this isn't a good accessory. It's just a generic one, slightly better than Pop Culture Shock with the black only base. But in a way, I sort of like it because if you look down here, my carousel, it just fits perfectly. Okay, so accessory wise, I would say this is a 7 out of 10, maybe 7.5, just because you do get two heads, and Yeah, it changes the display a little because this part's all black, and then down here you have the pattern. Okay, so and then you have two switch outs, the hands. The only thing better would be if this was light up. Okay, so we'll get to that later. I said seven. We'll go 7.5 out of this. 7.5 out of 10, and then this will head to our final score. It's not an average or anything, but I will get to that. But let me put the head, the Jim Lee inspired head back on. I prefer that, and I think most collectors also prefer that. Okay, so so we're back with the Jim Lee head, inspired head on, and this is the display I would display it at. So we're down to our final overall score. This is not an average. This one is not, I guess it's an easy one for me because this thing is just so awesome, as you can see. Yeah, the only problem is if you ever display it that way. Okay, where's his face? So other than that, well, all statues you're gonna have some problem at certain angles. This one is an easy 9.5 out of 10 for me. Not quite perfect. I would love to give this a 10, with the exception of the base. A 10 would be like, perfect base, perfect scope. This is as good as you're going to get, except for the aforementioned wedge arm, but that's nothing that Sideshow can do. So as you can see, it just captures the character's essence. It's like he's got this attitude, the essence of a character, and that's hard to do when you put in 3D sculpt. With this guy, as you can see, it's all there. It's the whole package with the exception of the base. Okay, and then you do have two heads, and then you can switch out for the modern if you like that, which I don't. That will probably never see the day of light or light of day. And then as you can see, it's got a lot of attitude or essence to it, and then everything's just done so well. It's hard to fault this piece, other than like the knee pad and stuff. That's just I'm just nitpicking it. And the paint app was really good. And when this one first came out, I actually didn't get one. I just had started in collecting Sideshow. Mostly it was Bowens for me. And I thought Sideshow, I think this piece was like $310 for the exclusive or something like that. MSRP, so I thought it was pretty expensive when you can get Bowens for like under two. But I went on the wait list after seeing some pictures. So I was surprised to actually get it. And I do have another one of these, and I picked up because I was that impressed with it. So yeah, I actually got it, and some people, I guess, dropped off the way. They cancel. This was back in the days before non-refundable deposits. So I was able to get it, and yeah, I never looked back. So as you can see, this thing is too awesome. I'd highly recommend somebody picking this up if you're an Xmen fan, if you haven't already. Now this guy's kind of pricey now, because especially the exclusive, there's only 750 of them. You can still get the regular, which I think it's 1,000, but you won't get this, and this does make a difference. Only wish it would only be better if this was light up, and then it might be a little bit complicated. I know some people don't like lighting, but I do. That would put it over the top. Okay, so other than that, it's a near perfect statue, as you can see. It's the little scruffy beard. The teeth could be a little bit better, but it's kind of hard to sculpt, and even the ears. It's very detailed, and the hair. I mean, when you look at this, it's Gambit, and it's just so much, attitude. It's just great. So yeah, as you can tell, I love this piece. I guess that's it, and I would put this definitely in my top 5 ever pieces. It's just not, my top 5 is how well the piece is done. It doesn't necessarily mean that it costs a lot, like XM Magneto. I would put that in top 5. This, I have the Spinning Hammer Thor from Bowen. That's a top 5. If that was a quarter scale, man, that'd be like the number one piece. But I would definitely say this is the top five uh, statues ever made. Now there are great ones, but you just can't beat this, as you can see. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I guess with me saying you should go out and pick this up, it's a little bit too late unless you hit the bay or something. You know, as you can see, even Mighty XM, I don't think they'll ever beat this or any other company. This is one of Sideshow's greatest, probably like the top three greatest. Okay, because nowadays, you know, because of the trench coat, you know, it makes it the best combo. This is how mixed media should be done. Okay, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And I don't know what I'm gonna put up. I meant to put Doctor Strange, but I haven't gotten it yet. So you get this as a consolation prize. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.